Alrighty, welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Broncos. You can follow us on Mile High Sports on Twitter, the LTB podcast at BreeBree0322, at JR Drafts, and Zach_Seegers. You can find all of Zach and Joey's excellent writing on milehighsports.com, and you can listen to any of our previous episodes on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to our new YouTube channel, and if Facebook or Instagram is your thing, you can find us there too. As you can see, Zach Seegers can't join us tonight, so it's just Joey and I running the show. Joey, how are you?
I'm doing well. I had a good weekend, Father's Day weekend. Took my dad golfing, which is funny. They always tell you like Father's Day golfing sounds great, right? But like they don't tell you what if your dad doesn't play good. And that's kind of what I was dealing with there. But yeah, Zach can't make it today. He's doing something stupid like going to the Stanley Cup or I don't know, something very unimportant. But otherwise, yeah, really good weekend.
Awesome, fantastic. We have an incredible show for you all tonight. I do want to remind you all before we get started that if you're watching on Twitter, you need to jump over to the YouTube stream, which is linked in the thread, so you can get your questions, comments highlighted on screen. And we locked down one heck of an interview for you guys tonight. So without further ado, from Beaumont, Texas, he played college at the University of Texas, and he's now a safety for your Denver Broncos. We can't thank him enough for joining us on Let's Talk Broncos. Number 37, J Locke.
PJ, how's it going,
Hey!
man?
And it's all good, man. Just had a wonderful Father's Day and getting ready to go to Mexico tomorrow. So I had to squeeze you guys in.
We love it. We appreciate it. Thank you for that.
No doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for squeezing us in. I cannot believe that we got this time with you. You did just mention Father's Day, so happy belated Father's Day. Your son is adorable.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, what did you guys get into this weekend for that?
Well, I actually had a camp this weekend. Saturday was my camp. I give back to my hometown. It's a free camp for kids. This year was fifth grade to 12th grade. And yeah, man, it was awesome. Had over 100 kids come out. And after that, I took me and some friends that were from Beaumont. We took our kids to Chuck E. Cheese. So they got
Oh,
to meet.
nice.
Uh,
That's fantastic. What is your favorite game at Chuck E. Cheese?
there was like a little football game that you had to. It was like three holes, kind of stacked against each other. It was a high one, a middle one, a low one, and the high one obviously it was a little hole and it was the most points. And I literally stayed on that game forever because like if you get a certain score, you get like 40 tickets. Otherwise, you get 10, 8, or 6. And so like I was on that game the whole time, and I was like just dedicated. I was like, man, I got to get this for my son. And
So, yeah. Okay. So, are you guys holding off on the tickets, or you guys get something right there? Are you the type that saves them up?
Well, we won't. We probably won't be back, so we had to go ahead and add
Right.
everything and get something right there. But yeah, it was a good experience though. He had fun, man. He's just full of energy, and he actually wore me out. He wore me
There
out.
you go.
I bet, I bet. I did want to talk to you a little bit more about the camp that you put on. Considering you've done it multiple years now, it's clear these football camps for kids are very important to you. Why do you believe in their importance?
Well, because I was at that age at one point, and I just wish that they had somebody, NFL caliber, college caliber, whatever, to come back and give me like tips and just spread wisdom and show me the ropes of how it's done. And I just pride myself, once I got to the league, man, I have to do it. My dad always told me, man, when you get to the top, don't never pull a ladder to help the next person up. So I pride myself on doing that every year, and I look to have it, every year and make it better and better. This past year was Raising Cane's hosted it, so it
There
was
you go.
awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, man. I remember when I was a kid and going to those football camps, they were rewarding, man. Just being able to, I don't know, when you're a kid and you're able to just look up to these NFL players, it's so invaluable. Like, it's awesome you're doing that.
Uh,
Um, Yeah. So I'm just going to move on a little bit here. I have a question for you, man. So last week we talked to Calvin Anderson and he was talking a little
right.
about he was talking a little bit about Hackett's playlist at practice. Is it as good as Calvin was making it sound? Like he has good music?
Does he have good music?
Yeah, they said that at practice like the practice playlist is good.
Every now and then, man, it's good music every now and then, but it's a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. I didn't know. I actually didn't know that was hacking. So you know, I'm gonna have to tell him about it. So.
You're gonna definitely have to let him know what's up for sure. um, recently, at the end of mandatory minicamp, there was a field day. I need to know who was the big winner from field day, and was there an event that you particularly did well in, or did you struggle in any of them?
Well, so the big thing was it was laser tag. So somehow they grouped everyone up. I'm not sure how many teams it was. It might have been like 8 to 10 teams, and everybody had on different color shirts. Obviously, the shirt color matched your team shirt. But anyway, um, yeah, we were actually the first team to laser tag, and yeah, I went completely off on the laser tag. You know, I went crazy, man. I
Yeah.
had the 29 kills like the first game, and I think the next person might have been like 21. So you know, I had a blast. We ended up playing another game, winning that one. I actually just started acting crazy the second game. I was picking up trees and you know shit like this. So yeah, I was having some fun. Me and KK on teams, and he was jumping over boxes and sliding over boxes. It was crazy. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be posting a video soon, so y'all gonna see it. It was so crazy. It was fun. And then I think we played one more game. We played against, I believe, like a lot of the O linemen. So actually played against my fellow buddy Andrew Beck. He was on that team, and
Oh
we ended
yeah.
up. But if you ask me, they were cheating. They were like covering up their laser. But you know, I'm not gonna say that. You didn't hear it from me. But no, it was fun though. It was fun. Then we had like basketball goals and stuff around, and then we were playing like I don't know if you ever heard of like 21. It's kind of like
Yeah.
okay, we were playing that, and some of the guys were playing knockout. So, but overall, man, we stayed there for a good 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours, and yeah, it was just going crazy the whole time. I was having fun, fellowshipping.
All right. There's another question for you. A little going off that competition, friendly competition thing. I'm curious because I hear these NFL players. You know, I go on Twitter. I hear all the competition about how competitive is it in the locker room for your college teams? Like, do you ride hard for Texas still in the locker room?
Oh, I definitely ride hard. I definitely
Yeah.
ride hard, but I'm smart though. I'm smart,
Okay.
pretty smart. Like Kareem Jackson and Pat Surtain are trying to get me for the Alabama game against Texas. Hold on. Let me wait. Let me see how the preseason goes. I'll be down there like let's say like 2 weeks in Austin. I'm gonna go check them out, and then you know I can make my fair shake then. But
Right. You'll come back with a better answer.
yeah, y'all not gonna get me like that. Like nah, I'm a smart person. Don't get me like that. Pretty much.
No, I think that's the way to go about it. Like you said, it's the smart way to do it too. You were talking about the camaraderie in the locker room, for maybe Texas being a part of why they maybe weren't doing so hot there for a little bit. Can you speak a little bit to how the Denver Broncos and the camaraderie that you're building with your roster and your fellow teammates has kind of changed the energy for this new era of the Denver Broncos?
Well, I can definitely speak for my group the most. The DBs, I honestly think we're like the closest group on the team. You know, the receivers and stuff. Any other position group might say otherwise, but obviously I'm gonna go for my guys. And man, we're super close. Like I think Kareem Jackson had a camp. I want to say a week ago, and literally almost every DB showed up to this camp. We fellowshiped there. We had a lot of fun. It might have been the most fun I ever had in a long time, just you know, outside of the places that I played or my hometown. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. But other than that, we pretty much go out to eat probably every Thursday. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know what restaurants. It's different caliber restaurants, but we also bowl a lot. That's probably our number one thing that we do. We bowl a lot. Like it's spreading across the locker room now. Like every group is want to compete against the DBs. They want us to spot them points. Like, hey, spot us 100 pins or something like that. Like, no, like
Right.
play straight up. You know, because we did intimidated a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? But now we really take it serious as far as like bowling. We have fun during the season. We pretty much every Thursday. Uh, we'll go out, go bowl. We might watch some games, might watch some, you know, Thursday night games or whatever the case may be. And yeah, man, we just super close, super close. So
Yeah, I'm interested about that just because This is curious, and we asked Calvin the same question, but especially coming from your safety group or your DB room, because you guys are loaded at safety, right? Like you have yourself, K-Jack, Caden, Justin, obviously. So I'm interested. How do you balance the competition aspect of that with like the friendship and building team camaraderie, like just friendship part of it, I guess?
Well, I mean, like I feel like we've been groomed to do that since we were younger. Went through college, went through high school. I mean, everything was the same way. I really think you don't. I don't think you think twice about it. It's just like, hey man,
Mm,
it's just how it feels. So whatever. But other than that, man, it's not really hard. It's just you've been doing it for so long. It's like it's something you don't think about. It's like just may the best man win, next man up. It's just always been a mentality. So the crazy thing about it is, when I was in college, man, I heard a lot of things about how you got some guys with a personality that they would withhold information from you.
mm,
It's sometimes it's old heads knowing that they getting ready to get their spot took or whatever case may be. So I went into the league with kind of like my guard up a little bit. And actually, when I got to the Broncos, my locker was right next to Von Miller's, and it was just like, hey, you went to Texas? I went to Texas A&M. And he was like, yo, go Aggies, and I was just like, nah, bro, it's all day. Kind of started from there. We found out we had like mutual friends and stuff like that. And he was just like the coolest thing ever. Invited me to his house, and it's just spiraled after that. And then
totally.
getting in when I first met K-Jack, it was during the season, but I really didn't start talking to him like in the off season. It was like the year, I want to say COVID hit. I think it was that year. And nobody really had anywhere to work out. So we were just trying to it was just real sporadic on where we were working out. I actually pulled out some old gear that I had in high school in a garage that had spider webs and rust on it, stuff like that. But KJ would call me to the field in Houston. I would drive up there and he would just start shedding all this knowledge. And, we got pretty close there. And but yeah, man, Justin and K Jack is just guys like K Jack is the one, obviously he's the oldest one, but he knows how to bridge the gap. Like I'm 25 and he's whatever 33, 34, and you couldn't even tell. Normally like 25-year-olds don't really hang up with the older guys like that, but he just knows how to bridge the gap between the rookies, even right now, to his age. It's like it's no drop off at all. It's just so easy to talk to him. Even Justin is the same way. It's so easy to talk to them, and you ask them questions. They're gonna share the knowledge. They're gonna always try to help you on the sideline, whatever it's individuals, whether it's in team, whether it's outside the locker room. It doesn't matter, man. You talk ball with them, they're gonna spit it right back to you.
That's amazing, man. That's the stuff you love to hear from a team,
Definitely.
especially going into this new era of Broncos football, new coaching staff, new ownership, all of that. You love to hear stories like that.
Love it.
Absolutely. Glenn Hauser wants to know what is the best insult you've heard K-Jack dish out when he's drawn and letting loose in practice or in a game?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
What is the best insult that you've heard K-Jack dish out when he's drawn and letting loose in practice or in a game?
Oh, it's so much, man. K-Jack says so much. It's just a motor mouth, man. When he gets going, it does not stop. But it's so funny at the same time. I think one of the best ones, my favorite ones, is I think when the offense is kind of taking too long to come out the huddle and they get a delayed game, and obviously they don't move the ball back. But sometimes Coach Hackett will call a timeout, and KJ was like, it'll happen like 3 or 4 times out throughout practice, and KJ could be like, "Man, we ain't got no more timeouts. Y'all use them all. Y'all use them all." So it'll be stuff like that. It's just so funny. But yeah, like when he gets going, he does not stop. He says a lot more worse things, but it's funny though. It's funny.
I always tend to get a laugh out of any of the reports out of camp from what K-Jack is saying. So that's fantastic. There was also another question of how much trash talk do you and Caden dish out, UT trash talk?
I mean, normally me and Kaden, we tag team. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tries. I don't know what it is, but everybody helps us about Texas. Like it's
Yeah.
type of slander going on, and so normally he has my back, or I have his back, and it's just like as soon as you get in the building, we got a bunch of Aggies. Like one of our trainers, Matt, he's an Aggie, and it's always a slander. And then when they heard about the news of Texas moving to the SEC. We got it. We had it coming. We had it coming. I need my boys to play so good this year because we got to shut people up. We got to shut people up because I'm tired of it myself.
Yeah. So you've been talking about a little about all this team competition and friendship and all this different stuff going on, and I'm curious. Do you feel like an energy shift with this new coaching staff Coach Hackett brought in, and like a lot of new coaches, right? A younger staff. Is that like something you feel?
Oh, I definitely feel it. And I think a lot of it is, you have Russell Wilson with you too, so you walk a little different.
Right. Right.
Everybody walks a little different, knowing you got somebody that did it before. But other than that, man, we going into another season. It's not really like a super huge learning curve, learning a new defense. I'm not sure how it is on the offensive side, but as far as the defense, it's not a huge learning curve. Obviously, some tweaks here and there, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty smooth. You know what I'm saying? Coach E, he's a player's coach. So anytime Justin and KJ, feel like something should be ran a certain type of way, or terminology. No, the biggest thing is usually terminology. With Coach E, so it's such a player's coach that some of the terminology that we used last year, he was okay with using it this year and putting the learning curve on him, instead of us. So stuff
Right.
and it goes a long way. It goes longer than he even thinks, because that's one less thing we have to worry about. So, but yeah, man, the energy is crazy, man. It just, I don't know. We're just super excited for the season. I just think there's big things coming.
Yeah, you man, that's awesome. I know all the Broncos fans in the chat right now are going crazy. A lot of them are. Um, and kind of building across that question, right? You said there's not a ton of changes. Obviously, this Vic Fangio two shell defense that you guys ran last year, and could you speak to us a little bit about the importance of the safety position in that system? Just because, I mean, I know for a fact it is, but it would be nice hearing it from a Broncos player.
Yeah. I think the safety position, man, is like the quarterback of the defense. The biggest thing is just knowing where everybody is, knowing where the linebackers are, the corners are, knowing their jobs, their techniques, knowing what the D line is. I think overall, once you get all that down, it'll help you just play a lot faster. But other than that, man, it's really just you being a quarterback. You lining people up. Sometimes you might have some guys that are younger than me in there. That's the big jump I had to take. Was just when I'm lined up, when I'm in there with a rookie or anything, I gotta try to take over and just show that I can take command and line the linebackers up, line D line up, line the other safety up, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. Just knowing that you are the quarterback of the defense, and you have to be on your stuff. You have to know the ins and out of the defense, knowing why we do it, why we run this coverage, knowing Coach E's brain. Like what does he want to run on third down? What is his
Right.
favorite third and short, third and medium, third and long, or vice versa. Like on second down, first down, second down. What is his favorite cause? What is this? What is our obviously we focus on our offense, but what are some things that our offense do that we can do to stop them? So it's just a whole bunch of different stuff, but most important, just being a quarterback of the defense.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you talk to me a little bit about how you're enjoying or how it is working with Coach Evero and maybe how his style differentiates from the last coaching staff?
Uh, each I feel like each coach brings something different to the table. It's really not. I try not to find any negative things at all. Because like I said, if you start finding negative things, you won't buy in completely. And the last thing you want, I've been through it. Just a team, a defense that won't buy into what the defensive line is, what the defense coordinator is doing, or their position coach is doing. And it's crazy. But anyway, Coach E, like I told you at first, man, he's a players coach. And first time I really talked to Coach E, we actually had like a kid, a boys and girls club parade, and he showed up. Coach Hackett showed up. A bunch of defensive coaches showed up, and Coach E brought his son. I brought my son, and our sons started playing with each other. And while we were walking the parade, me and Coach E were talking, and I was just like, man, that's pretty cool. It's just our sons playing, our kids playing with each other, and like we having like a legitimate conversation, and it was crazy because I didn't really look at it like that. It's just coming from college, coming from a strict program, it just never was like that. So that opened my eyes. But man, the biggest thing is just he's a smart, super super smart dude, just sharp. And on top of that, like I said, he's just a player coach. He listens to, you know, what we're saying, and that goes a long way.
Hey.
I also want to elaborate just a little bit on that as well, as Christian Parker seems to be the unsung heroes as a coach, as a member of the coaching staff for the Denver Broncos. You talked to me a little bit just about how his role has increased or decreased since Hackett's arrival and how he's helped you.
Hmm. Okay, so first of all, CP, man, CP is amazing, you know, and I actually didn't know he was so young. I really just, and you know, a guy that young to have a defensive back job. And be so sharp and on point with everything he does, man. All CP does is like watch film. He actually texted me a couple of days ago. He texted me and Kaden. He was just like, "Hey man, is there anybody across the league that y'all want to see?" Because he's watching so much film, any safeties, and he just literally puts clips of different safeties on our iPad that whoever we want to see. You know, same play style or a guy that was like really productive last year, why he was productive and stuff. So CP will put, you know, all those clips on the iPad for us to see and just watch, you know, over this little course of period of time before training camp. But man, he's one guy that's just like, man, just super sharp, just super into football. Just feel like he's seen so much. Even though he's so young, he's seen so much, he's learned so much that he's able to like uh, tell us those things and help us with any questions we have. Man, he was able to pick up the defense like this. Any questions you have, he's just on it, just always. I feel like I never hear him say, "Hey, let me get back to you." Nothing like that. It's just always on it, just always on it. And like it just gets me excited, man, because I'm a person like I'm just hungry for growth, you know, and I just always ask him a lot of questions and anytime after practice, anytime I can meet with him and watch like, you know, previous practices, I do it, you know, and it helps me so much because he's just able to regurgitate a lot of things back to me.
Uh, do you have a like? Okay, so when Coach CP sending over this film, who like what player are you studying the most, or you enjoy the most around the league?
Uh, the person I told him that I like to see Quandre Diggs.
Okay,
He's a Texas guy, and I feel like we have some sort of a similar play style. Like to watch Tyrann Mathieu because Tyrann Mathieu plays different positions.
everywhere, right?
Yeah, you know, he's the actual quarterback of a defense. You know, he can play any position. Hey, somebody goes down, he can go there. I like to watch Derwin James because he plays a lot of dime. He moves around at that second level. Who else? I like to watch Kenny Moore. He was just real productive last year, just to show his off man technique and his just any techniques that he have. It's a couple other guys. Jesse Bates, he was super productive last year. I feel
Yep,
like. Um, yeah, just anybody, man. Anybody came on top of my head. I only gave him three people, but yeah, just anybody come off the top of my head at the moment. But I like to watch guys playing style and you know when they make plays, why did they trigger so fast during a run, or what made them break on this early and pick the ball off. Like I'm just trying to figure out what they see. So
totally.
that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. I did want to reference you. You famously signed a dedication contract over a decade ago, promising yourself to make the sacrifices necessary to reach the NFL. Can you share with us one of those sacrifices that you made?
One of those sacrifices is really like hanging out with friends, man. It was obviously in high school. This contract was signed in 2011, but it was just like a lot of, you know, not staying out late, or instead of going to this party, I'm gonna go work out. Instead of going to this party, I'm gonna go watch some film of myself. I'm gonna go study my opponent. It's different stuff like that. I was working out literally every muscle I have in my body, I built it from scratch. Like I used to get my dad make fun of my older sister used to make. She's like naturally defined, and older sisters make fun of me too. Just like, man, when you gonna get some muscles? Lifting all this weight, when you gonna get some muscles? So it's like I remember we're in the weight room, and she told me that it like tore me apart. And like the next morning, I got up at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I was just pumping iron. And my dad came in, was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "Man, I can't let my older sister outdo me like that. I can't let anybody tell me that." So it kind of started like that. Yeah, and that's kind of like how we made the contract. And yeah, it just kind of went from there. And yeah, I have like a unconventional, I would say, story to the NFL. Everybody has like this draft story. My draft day was terrible.
Was it?
It was absolutely terrible. Just from the agent at the time that I had, just on down, just the whole experience is just ridiculous. I can't. It's hard for me to watch the draft now without even thinking about it. But but yeah, I would tell y'all the story. I don't know if y'all even have time. We'll just tell y'all just the crazy story that it was.
Yeah, please do.
Please.
Oh, okay. Um, well, obviously I went undrafted. At the time, the agent that I had, I was talking to the Dolphins, the Chargers, the Rams. I believe there's one other team my agent was talking to just during the draft, and it was like, "Hey, we're gonna take you in the fifth round." Fifth round came, didn't take me. Sixth round, didn't take me. Seventh round, didn't take me. So right after the draft, the Rams, well, the Chargers and the Dolphins called me for a to sign an undrafted contract. Well, I had a draft party at my house, and I overheard. Well, some of my friends that were here overheard my agent talking like in the background, the agent at the time, and was just like, yeah, they heard him saying, yeah, that's not enough money, you know. So nothing was like
No.
me. So what I'm guessing is, he gets a cut on my signing bonus. So I don't know if it's like a situation where he needed more money for himself, but to me, if I was an agent, I would have been like, hey, I'm gonna have one bird in hand, and I'm gonna play with it,
Right.
see what I can get from that. And I might lie, just to make another team bite, But yeah, none of that stuff was talked about with me, and I ended up having no offers at the end of the day. He tried to call teams back and say, "Hey, yeah, we'll take it now," and it was like, "Nah, we already full." So literally, we called the Dolphins back, and it was like, "Hey, we invite you to we invite you as a camp invite, a mini camp invite." And I was like, oh God, man. Like I didn't heard about the mini camp invites. It's like, man, you really gotta go out there and really ball out and earn, like go get your undrafted contract. And so I was content with it. I was like, okay, man, this is what I gotta do. This is my path that God wanted me to take, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I was cool. I was fine with that. I was upset because I wasn't drafted, didn't get an undrafted contract. This is what I failed to, but I was like, okay, forget it. So I would say about 3 or 4 days later, I get a call from the Steelers. I fired that agent, just to let y'all know.
Yeah. Good decision.
Um, yeah, and so 3 or 4 days later, I ended up signing with the Steelers. They called me and like, "Hey, we're gonna offer you this." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, bye bye Dolphins." So going with the Steelers, and then ended up going there, and it was, I had a great experience. I played pretty good, and at the end of like the last preseason game, I had a coach tell me like, "Hey, man, like." I did not know because I played nickel in college. Really didn't play much safety. Only when somebody got hurt. I just knew the defense, so they trusted me there. So I really didn't know the ins and outs of safety like that, but I could play. But so I ended up getting signed as a safety. Went there, went through the preseason, and everything. Like, hey, the coach was like, "Hey, man, I did not know you had that kind of range and just the IQ of the game as a safety." And he was like, "Man, I think you're gonna be on practice squad. I really feel like we're gonna put you on practice squad, and when you get to practice squad, like." Don't settle for that. It was like we expecting a lot of development out of you. So I'm like, okay, bad. So I'm calling my family like, hey man, they gonna sign me to practice squad, whatever.
Yeah.
So cut day come and I get cut, and I know how it goes. Like somebody pick you up, you go to a 53-man roster, but nobody picked me up. So the next day, I see people going in. They have their luggage and stuff, and they're going in to get their plane ticket back home. I see some people going in with nothing, and they go and sign their practice squad contract. So I'm like maybe like the fifth one in there, right? And I'm just waiting around, and I'm just like, man, what's going on? I'm seeing these people walk in, walk out, and I'm just like, man, what's going on? So a coach came out. He was just like, hey, man, we're seeing if this deal is going to go down, and if it does, we'll have a spot for you on the practice squad. And it looked like it's about to go down. So I'm like, okay,
Right.
cool. So I wait. I'm literally in there waiting for like another hour and a half. He comes back and he's like, hey, man, I'm just sorry to say, man, we don't have any more spots. I'm going to have to leave your plane ticket home. And he was just like, hey, man, I just want to let you know, man, you are a safety in the NFL. And at the time, I was like, man, I don't want to hear that. Like, y'all literally
Yeah.
lied to me. I don't want to hear none of that. So, I'm just on the way back home. I'm just hurt. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I feel like I'm embarrassed. I'm discouraged. I feel like I let my family down. I ended up flying to Dallas, going to meet my wife, and literally she picked me up from the airport. We got to the house, and I literally just sat in the car like for like 2 hours, didn't say a word, and I was just messed up. I'm just like, man, how did all this happen? Like I just felt like everything was just taken away from me. Um, I was torn, like completely. And as the days went by, I was just like, I was, I would say satisfied. Well, I'm not gonna say satisfied. I'm never satisfied, but it was just starting to sink in. Like, okay, like you know, there's another team that's gonna come. There's another team that's gonna call. Everybody kept telling me, man, this call can come today, come tomorrow, come next week, next month, or whatever the case may be. So like, I just kept my head straight. I really like got in tune with God at the time. I would read scriptures like every night. I was reading books like Andrew Womack and stuff like that. And yeah, so I dropped a lot of weight. Um,
Yeah.
I found out things that I like if I wasn't playing football. So it was like a blessing inside of that, that came out of it, some positive things. But I actually ended up signing, well, I was getting drafted to the XFL, the team called the Tampa Bay Vipers.
Okay.
Uh, I flew out there and everything. This had to be like around November, something like that, early November. I don't know, something like that. But I flew out there and everything, and I'm getting ready to sign my contract with the Vipers. It's on an iPad. I'm like the 20th guy in line, so I'm just sitting there waiting, just excited, like, man, I'm getting to play football again, about to get some film out. Once I get this film out, I'm going back to NFL. So I'm just optimistic. And yeah, so I'm like the next guy in line, literally. Like if I'm lying, they say I'm lying, I'm dying. So like the guy iPad crashes. It's like it's contract though. You sign a contract with XFL, and like literally, if you sign a contract, they own your rights. If the NFL team call, you can't go. But so the iPad crashes, and like 5 minutes later, legit, I get a call from my agent, well, a text from my agent. He was like, "Hey, you got to work out with the Colts and the Broncos." So at the point in time, like, man, I've been at home for 4 months, 3 or 4 months. I'm like, man, I need the money. Uh, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do at this point. So I came up with the conclusion. I was like, you know what? Forget it. I always want to go to the NFL, play in the NFL. I was like, forget it. I'm going to bet on myself. So the XFL team, like, they were trying to, like, keep me there, like, offer me more money and stuff like that. And I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm going to the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, well, if you go to the workout, they don't guarantee that you're gonna sign you and stuff. And I'm just thinking, it kind of got me thinking again. I was like, dang, should I do it? I was like, man, forget it. I'm a trusting God. So I left. They didn't even give me a plane ticket home. Like they're petty, so petty. Oh my God. So anyway, anyway, so ended up going to the coach workout. I had a nice workout, and I was like, hey, we're gonna call you back, whatever. Might sign you to a future contract. Then I ended up going like 2 weeks later, going to the Broncos workout. Had a great workout. It was like, yeah, man. And once January comes, we're gonna sign you to a future contract. But I was still like messed up because I'm like, dang, so that means I gotta wait another 2 months before
Yeah.
like some income start rolling in. So I was like, man, what I'm gonna do? And so I kind of came to the conclusion that I'll go to work with my dad. He does real estate and kind of learn the ins and outs of that. And yeah, so I was like, okay, I mean, it sounds good. I get paid for it, whatever, so I can work out, learn. It's something I want to do after football, so yeah, it'll be cool. So yeah, so like about 2 weeks later, literally, I went up to my wife's graduation. She's graduating from college from North Texas. I drove up there, and she graduated. I'm driving back home to go work out and work with my dad, and I literally get a call from my agent. He was like, "Hey man, the Broncos want to sign you to the practice squad for the last 2 weeks of the season." And I was just, I literally had just finished reading this book, this Andrew Womack book. It's like a real spiritual book, and I literally finished reading that the night before, and I got the call the next day. I was like, "Man, what a coincidence!"
Yeah.
So ever
Man.
since then, yeah, I stuck, man. I stuck.
Man, that's a crazy story. It really is. Like, you definitely worked for everything that where you are now. Like, man, a lot of obstacles there. And I guess my question is like, do all these obstacles in your way coming to where you are now? Does that change your outlook on the game?
On the like just what everything that happened, like politics of it, or what do you mean?
Yeah, well, maybe I don't even know in a negative way. Maybe it's a negative way, but like more in like an appreciative way of the game.
Oh, most definitely, because I feel like he was taken away from me. So
Right.
that when I was in Pittsburgh, I was like, man, I wish I could have done these things. Maybe ask more questions and stuff like that. Be more in tune with the coaches and meeting with them. And man, when I got back in the league, man, I took all that like into consideration. It was just like, and I was like, man, I gotta do this. It was times where we finished practicing. I was like, man, I want to go home. I'm tired. Like, no, let me go ahead and get this 20 minutes, 15 minutes with my coach. Go over things that he saw in practice that he feel like I need to work on, whatever. I mean, I had to take it because when I felt like I had the game literally taken away from me. So each and every time I get an opportunity, that just crossing my path, I gotta take it. I got to. No matter how I'm feeling, like I might be tired, might be hurting or whatever. I just like, man, 15 minutes, 20 minutes goes a long way. Goes a long
Right.
way. So
And we're even at the point now, right, where we got Justin Simmons, Cortland Sutton talking to you at media, to where like people are my boss is hitting me up talking about we need to write this PJ Locke article. So I'm sure that's a cool thing. Anyways, I think Bri, before we wrap up here, and I really appreciate you sharing that story, man. That's an awesome story that you just gave us. And man, like I said, definitely worked for everything you got, but a lot of obstacles there, but Bri's gonna just fire off some lighthearted little rapid fire questions for you, and you're just gonna answer whatever's the quickest. Okay?
okay, sound good.
That is okay if you're all right with like 5 extra minutes with us.
I'm
I
good.
know we've gone long.
We're all good. I'm enjoying my time.
Okay. Well, we're enjoying it too, and so are all the fans. So I'm going to get into a couple fan questions first, just because they've been waiting very patiently for us. Patrick Coyote asks, "What's your favorite stadium you've played in other than Empower Field?"
Other than Empower Field, I actually like the Ram Stadium. It's pretty cool. So I think it's called SoFi.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's the turf is like real bouncy. So I feel pretty fast, real bouncy, and like I think it's got like the lighting in there is just crazy too. We played in the daytime, I want to say, and yeah, the lighting in there was awesome. So
Oh, that's awesome. I have yet to make a trip out there, but it looks absolutely incredible.
yeah,
um,
too.
Frankie's Films asks, "Who's your all-time favorite safety?"
All time favorite safety. I'm gonna have to go with my Texas buddy Earl Thomas,
Okay.
or I like Troy Polamalu because
Very
he,
good.
That was my favorite player growing up.
yeah, he was different.
Yeah, definitely built different. Glenn Hauser wants to know, what would be your dream jersey swap?
My dream jersey swap. Let's say if I can trade jerseys with Tom Brady, that'd
That
be.
would be pretty crazy. Yeah.
I actually have a picture. I'm going to frame it, but it's like my rookie year, and I was going on a blitz, and somebody got a picture of me like going after him, and he's like in the pocket getting ready to throw it. I was like, yeah, I gotta frame that one. Got it. Got
No doubt.
That's incredible. And now we're on the same page. You're now one of my favorite players ever for that answer to that question. I'm a huge Brady fan, so glad we can agree on that one.
One of the few in Broncos country, man.
I
you.
know, please
I'm
don't tell anybody. Orange Crush just wanted to say how excited he was when the Broncos picked you up. Excited for you this year, and he gives you horns up. So good luck to you, and thank you, Orange Crush 512. Glenn wants to know, when you come in for a workout, what are all the things that you have to do?
uh, it just depends on. I wonder if is he talking about like my
I
personal work?
think I think when you are asked to come in for a workout with the team.
Oh, it honestly just depends on what they have on the menu that day. It might be like an upper body day, it might be a lower body day, might be like a full body day, which those are the days that you got to come with your mind right. Because, but
Yeah.
yeah, it honestly depends on what Coach Landau has for us that day. So,
Right.
Very cool. Good to know. Okay, now we'll go into the rapid fire. Nothing too crazy or heavy, and you can pass on certain questions if you want to, okay? All right, let's go. I want to know which DB has the best or worst style. You can say the one that
On the
has the best
Broncos.
or one that has the worst. Yeah, on the Broncos.
Oh, the best is Kareem for sure. Like off rip, Kareem
Okay.
off rip.
I love it. Who's the best or worst cook?
The best or worst cook? Huh. I might be the best cook.
There you go.
I only
Ooh.
had the only person that's actually cooked was me and Justin. But I'm gonna go with me. I'm gonna bet on myself again. Like I told you earlier, I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm gonna say
I love it. That's an acceptable response. Which player are you closest with on the defense?
my defense might be Kareem and Justin.
Yeah.
There you
Kareem and
go.
Justin.
Now we see the bias in the answers to the question. Who are you closest to on the offense?
Closest to on the offense. I'm trying to think. Maybe uh, call him DC, Demeria Crockett,
There you go.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
or
It-
Hammer.
AJ.
Yeah,
AJ for sure. If you could start a podcast with one of your current or former teammates, who would it be and why?
Kareem because he's full of personality. He has a motor mouth. He has no filter. At certain points, he knows when to cut on and off. But uh, yeah, he's just a interesting dude.
No
I
problem.
I love that. We'll have
That's
to get him on and see how he does. He can ask us questions. Do you prefer snowmobiling or snowboarding more?
snowboard.
Yeah.
Snowboard.
You've been snowboarding while you've been doing that down here?
Yeah, I actually that's like a newfound love now. So I started. We actually went to Aspen like right after the season,
Yeah.
uh, and my buddy Bryce Callahan, he's like just crazy talented in anything he does, and he kind of introduced it to me. He introduced it to me and Esang Bassi, and ever since then, like we've just been like real dedicated to getting better and better at it. So I'm literally counting the days right now, counting the time next year. So
There you go.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Do you have a biggest fear?
biggest fear. I don't want to be whack, but I would say it might be failing or it might be heights.
Heights. That's me.
I want to face. That's the only fear I would like to face. It's like jumping out of like a plane skydiving.
I
So
don't know, man. I love my life.
I thought you were gonna say snakes for sure.
no, because I live in a country. Like I'm in Beaumont, Texas right now, and we live in a country, and you see water moccasins and stuff like that all the time. And yeah, we get a shovel. I'm sorry for the snake lovers. Yeah, we get a shovel and we go to work.
It takes care of it
Like, quick,
completely.
quick, get them out of here, please.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. What food could you eat every single day and not get sick of?
Wings.
Good
Wing-
answer. Solid answer there.
Yeah, lemon
Yep.
pepper. Be
Ooh.
Yeah.
exact. Yeah.
You got what's the wing spot? Is there one in Denver that I should be?
It's actually bowling alley. Celebrity Lanes. They have
Okay.
craziest wings, and like you can like mix and match the flavors. So one of
Really? I
I
didn't know that.
actually like getting this one called Buffalo Lemon Pepper. So they kind of like mix those flavors. Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
Might make
That's,
weight over there.
I know that sounds good. I think I'm gonna have to make the trip for sure. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. That's what you think it does?
I don't know. It looks like the comments disagree. No, I'm just kidding.
My answer. I'm my own person. Fine.
Exactly. That's you're your own person. You can have those. Whether or not people agree is up to them, right? What story about one of the other DBs can you tell us that we don't already know? Doesn't have to be too in depth.
Um, Dang, you put me on spot with that one. I'm
That
not
one's a tough one.
You can pass. We'll pass.
Okay, pass that one. Pass that one.
Pass
Yeah.
it. Pass it.
And would you rather sing to every song or dance to every song
If you had to.
if you had
Have
to?
I would rather dance to every song.
So if you heard a song randomly, you would rather dance than have to sing it.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Oh no, I don't know. I mean,
I don't
Practice
know.
would be crazy, right?
I had a few dance moves at practice one time. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah, we saw that video.
Okay, yeah. I think I'd rather dance. I think I'd rather
Yeah.
dance.
I mean, it was impressive. I think that's a good way to go with it.
The flow.
You tweeted you tweeted recently the Drake album really isn't as bad as y'all are making it seem. What grade would you give the album, and what's your favorite Drake album?
Listen, I would say I would give the album like a 7.5. I didn't think the out like it wasn't a lot of like just club bangers on it. You know, you
Yeah.
go to the club or anything like that, you're not gonna hear those albums. But you know, if you're going on like a vacation, like we're going to Tulum, I would play that. You know, because it's a vibe. But I also think Drake is messing with everybody. Like he's about to drop some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like you can't let it go over your head. Like Drake is not about to put out eight. I think it's well, how many songs was it? 18
It
or
was a lot of songs. Yeah, 18.
yeah.
The last one was the only like real Drake sounding. I don't know. It was the only rap song on there really.
Yeah, he's not about to put out 18 songs and they all be garbage. It's not happening. Like, or he's gonna leave everybody just empty, you know. So I think he's up to something. I think he has something on his sleeve, but you didn't hear from me. What was the second one?
Your favorite.
Uh,
I
I,
think there's only one right answer here.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. Say nothing was the same.
Okay, that's a good one. That one's acceptable. I said there's only one. That's an acceptable
What's
answer.
yours? Is it view? No, it can't be views.
No, take care.
Take care. I could have went with that one too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say nothing was the same.
yeah, that's a good one.
Very cool. That concludes our rapid fire question portion of the night. We want to just take another second to thank you so much for coming on Let's Talk Broncos from Joey Richards and myself, Bri Maestas. We appreciate you. It's been a fantastic night. I just wanted to know if you had anything that you wanted to let the listeners know right now. Here's your time to do so. And we just wanted to thank you once again.
Well, I really want to thank y'all because my dad always told me I would have a story to tell, just how my career went or how my career's been going, how my draft.
Definitely,
And it's a lot more things to it, but you know I didn't want to sit here forever and talk about it. But I just want to thank y'all for letting me share my story. Thank y'all for giving me opportunity. You know, for the fans to ask me questions and stuff like that because you know I see myself sticking around. So you know I like to get to know everybody.
definitely. Definitely. Hey, man, replicate that preseason last year. You really stood out. That was notable to everybody. So yeah, like again, man, we really appreciate you having you on. We appreciate you sharing that story with us. So it should be spread. So cool.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you've lived quite the full life in your 25 years. So thank you for giving us a glimpse into everything. We wish you all of luck. Broncos country is cheering for you. The entire comment section is just full of love for you, wishing you luck this year. Enjoy the rest of the off season, and we'll see and be cheering you on here towards training camp and towards the start of the season. Thank you so much, PJ. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. See you guys soon.
We'll see you
See you,
soon.
man.
Okay. Bye. Um, Oh my goodness. We went a little bit long, everybody, but I just want to thank you all for hanging in. And Glenn just said, perseverance personified. Could not have put it any better. What a tremendous story. We are so grateful and honored that PJ took the time out of his day. Like he said, he's flying off to Mexico tomorrow. So he absolutely did not have to make the time that he did, but we're so grateful that he was able to. Joey, any final and parting thoughts for our viewers before we let them get to this hockey game?
No, it's just that PJ's a really cool guy, and I'm happy he was able to come on the show, man. Awesome guy. Had a great preseason last year, and I think we all know that. But man, that was a good one. I had fun with that a lot. I like being able to talk to these players for sure, and PJ's been definitely one of the best.
Just an incredible story. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. Thanks for stopping by, asking all of your questions. I'm sorry if we didn't get to all of them or all of your comments tonight. We had a lot to learn from such a fantastic player, so we wanted to give him the opportunity to speak as well. Please join us again. We'll be back live on Wednesday where you can ask even more questions from us. Maybe we can elaborate some more on what you heard. Wanted to give a special shout out to, I see Frankie Abbott from Frankie's Films. The MHRT crew is in the chat from 5280 Podcast, Orange Crush 512. I see a lot of people in here. I don't want to miss anybody, but I do want to thank everyone for giving us your time this evening. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on Twitter if you're not already. Finally, go Avs, go. Let's go watch some Stanley Cup finals, and let's go Broncos. You guys are incredible.